Let's talk about something that's probably in your pocket right now, or in the car you hope to buy, or even flying high up in the sky. There's a silent, really high-stakes race going on for a group of materials that are going to define our future, and this is India's quest to win that race. So let me start with a little puzzle for you. What on earth could possibly connect your smartphone to one of those giant wind turbines and a super advanced fighter jet? I mean, they seem like they're from completely different worlds, right? But believe it or not, they all share a fundamental secret ingredient. And the answer is a very special group of minerals. You see, these are the absolute building blocks for everything modern. We're talking about our green future, electric cars, solar panels, the very heart of our digital world, like semiconductors, and yeah, the muscle behind our national security and things like defense systems. Without them, our world literally just grinds to a halt. Now, there's an official name for these materials. They're called critical minerals. And as you're about to see, that name is no exaggeration. They really are the building blocks of the future. So, what exactly makes a mineral critical? Well, think of it like this. A mineral gets the critical tag if a shortage would cause serious, and I mean serious damage to a country's economy, its security, or its plans for clean energy. It's basically a list of stuff a country absolutely cannot afford to run out of. And for us, the government of India has put together a list of 30 such minerals that are vital. Okay, so within that list of 30 critical minerals, there's one group that gets all the attention. They're kind of like the superstars of the mineral world. They're called rare earth elements. And honestly, they're at the center of a huge global dilemma. So let's break down what they actually are. Rare earth elements, or REs for short, are a family of 17 different minerals. If you remember your high school chemistry, it's the 15 lanthanides from the periodic table, plus two others, scandium and yttrium. Now, these elements have these amazing, unique properties that make them completely essential for pretty much all high-tech manufacturing. But here's the first thing you really need to know, and it's a bit of a surprise. That name, rare earth, it's completely mislead. Yeah, they aren't actually rare at all. You can find them all over the planet. The real problem, the thing that makes them so valuable, is that they're a nightmare to process. Imagine trying to find a few grains of salt mixed into a giant pile of sand. That's what it's like. They're found in tiny concentrations, all mixed up together, and separating them is incredibly difficult, super expensive, and often pretty bad for the environment. And to make things just a little more complicated, not all rare earths are the same. They're split into two types. You've got the light rare earths, which are, more common and a bit easier to get, but then you have the heavy rare earths. These are less common, much harder to get, and because of their unique properties, they are way more valuable and strategically important. And this is where the story takes a sharp turn into geopolitics, because you simply can't talk about rare earths without talking about one country, China, and its almost total, unbreakable grip on the entire global supply chain. Just look at this number for a second. 90%. China controls over 90% of the world's capacity to refine rare earths. So what does that mean? It means even if a country like India or the US mines the raw ore from its own soil, chances are it has to be sent to China to be turned into something usable. That's a staggering amount of control. And that dominance starts right from the very beginning. About 60% of all the rare earths actually dug out of the ground, yep, that happens in China. And if we look to the future, they're sitting on about half of the world's known reserves. So you put it all together, they have the most raw material, the most reserves for the future, and almost total control over processing. That gives them some serious power. And this isn't just about business, it's about pure strategy. China can use this market power like a weapon. By changing its export rules, it can basically turn the global supply tap on or off whenever it wants. Imagine the kind of disruption that can cause for industries all over the world. So that's the big global picture. But let's bring it home. What does all of this incredible concentration of power in one country, mean for a rising nation like India? Well, the impact is direct, and it's a huge problem. It means we are heavily dependent on imports for the very materials we need for our Make in India dream. It leaves our most important sectors, manufacturing, technology, even defense, dangerously vulnerable to decisions being made thousands of kilometers away. But, and this is a very important but, India isn't just sitting back and letting this happen. The government gets it. They've recognized this weakness and have launched a major strategic response. The goal is crystal clear: build a path to self-reliance, to Atmanirbharata in this crucial field. And India's plan isn't just one thing. It's a full-on strategy built on 4 strong pillars. First, fix the problems at home by changing the laws. Second, look outside and build strong partnerships. Third, put serious money behind it with a national mission. And fourth, get smarter about using the resources we already have. Let's go through each one. Pillar number 1, a massive change in our mining laws. The government amended the main law, the MMDR Act, and this was a genuine game changer. For the first time, it basically threw open the doors for private companies to get into mining for critical minerals, which used to be just for government companies. This is huge because it brings in new money, new tech, and new ways of doing things. Pillar 2 is all about teamwork. India knows we can't do this all on our own. So we've joined a really important group called the Mineral Security Partnership, which includes countries like the USA. The whole idea is for friendly countries to work together to build supply chains that are safe and secure, so no one country can hold the rest of the world hostage. Third, you've got to put your money where your mouth is, right? The government has launched the National Critical Mineral Mission, and look at the number. They're backing it with a massive 34,000 crore rupees. This is a powerful signal that India is serious about building the entire chain, from finding the minerals to processing them right here at home. And finally, the 4th pillar, which is just a really clever long-term move, promoting a circular economy. Think about all the old phones, laptops, and electronics we throw away. They're full of these critical minerals. A new scheme is now encouraging us to recycle this e-waste. It's brilliant because it means we don't have to rely so much on new mining or on imports. So when you put all these pieces together, changing the laws, making new friends globally, investing huge amounts of money, and focusing on sustainability, a really clear picture starts to form. India is systematically trying to turn a major strategic weakness into a future source of strength. And that leaves us with the big question. Now, this race is a marathon, not a sprint. There's no doubt about it. But with all these bold changes, is India finally on the right path? A path to not just secure our own future, but to actually turn this massive challenge into our next great global strength? Well, that's the billion-dollar question.